The Meet the Buyer events have provided an opportunity to understand the procurement process in more detail. So we provide workshops where they're taken through the procurement process and actually given examples of both the pre-qualification questionnaires we might use and tender documents, so they can really get to grips with what we're wanting out of the process and why we ask the questions we do.
In terms of who the main decision makers are around procurement, we actually have a really highly devolved approach to procurement, with the main spend categories having a lead officer who is based in the service directorates. And our three main spend categories are social care, highways and property. Kent County Council spends around £900 million a year on goods and services, and we estimate that around 40% of that is spent with SMEs, and that's primarily within the County of Kent. In December of 2008, Paul Carter, the leader of the council, launched the Back in Kent business campaign. So there's a whole range of different issues associated with the campaign, and procurement is just part of that. So if I just give you a flavour of some of the things that we've done around procurement. We use the South East Business Portal to advertise all contract opportunities over £50,000, and we've certainly found that that's of a lot of use to local businesses to actually find out what's going on here. We've also tried to do more work around our supply chain for major areas such as building schools for the future. So although those contracts are with major suppliers, we're trying to build into that opportunity for smaller suppliers locally. Well, even before we launched the Back in Kent business campaign, we had been doing work with FSB locally to try and develop relationships with them and to get more into the issues about what stops SMEs and particularly micro companies actually doing business with KCC. So rather than talk at a general level, we've started digging down into our activities in more detail. So at the moment there's two main projects going on. FSB themselves are doing a lot of work with our highways department to understand how micro suppliers can get into the supply chain for our major highways contractor, which is Ringway. Another major area which we're involved in is we're one of two national pilots to do work on getting micro suppliers into the care management area. And from that, to bring those messages back to the procurement forum that I chair, which has the senior procurement staff from across KCC, and actually have that dialogue with them, but with FSB involved.
We're based in Hampshire County Council in Winchester, in the Economic Development Office, and our remit is to help and support farmers and producers of local food, drink and craft. It's really a one-stop shop for business advice, to make sure that they have good quality products to bring to market. We'll then find a market for those products. Hampshire Apple Juice is a project we've been working on for about a year now. It stemmed from our work in our sort of networking events where we get buyers, county council buyers and producers together, really so producers can understand what the requirements are in this case.
The key to being able to buy local is there must be no losers in the supply chain. Everybody's got to win. The price has got to be right for the end user to be able to use it. The packaging's got to be right so that it's usable. The manufacturer's got to make enough money out of the product. And the distributor must be involved, engaged. He is absolutely crucial. In our case, we've got a partnership, and we use 3663, who have a local food for local people policy, which they're currently developing. They're very, very keen to promote the use of local produce. I, as a local government employee, I cannot specify that I want apple juice or indeed anything from Hampshire. It's just not allowable. But if the wholesaler says to me, we have a product which is local to you, which we would like you to take and we will distribute for you, then I'm home and dry.
There are loads of benefits to this sort of initiative. If we start from the economic development side of it, it's actually County Council is buying, sourcing its product from a local small business in this case, who in turn are buying apples from a local farm. So in terms of putting money back into farming, back into small businesses, it's a win-win situation. And that's what this is very much about. Everybody benefits.
Waverley has a number of engagement and consultation meetings with the business community throughout the year. One of those is our national non-domestic rate meeting. At this year's meeting, one of our local businesses raised a question about how they could get better known to the council in terms of supplying their service to us. One of the changes that Waverley has decided to introduce as a result of a review of its procurement activity is to ask its prime contractors to use local subcontractors where they can, and also to take on local apprenticeships or develop skills of the local workforce or those who are perhaps unemployed. And one of the other conditions of that is that if we're paying a contractor who's using a local subcontractor, we would expect them to pay their local subcontractor in the same sort of timescales as we would be paying them. So that would mean within 10 days or 30 days, whatever the timescale that's been agreed.